Hi, my name is Kathy Jennings. I work at Central Office and I do a lot of work with utility permitting in WisDOT right away. So I'm going to go over some of the basic requirements of that today. I'm going to talk about the utility permits, the WisDOT organization, like who you need to contact, and some of the permit requirements for an application. If you go to wisconsindot.gov and you'll see this bar up here, you just type in permits. Will bring you to a screen that looks like this, which will eventually, when you click on it, bring you to our utility permitting page. For installing utilities in DOT right-of-way, you're going to want to use the form DT 1553. On this page, we've got the form DT 1553 and also the DT 1553I, which has all the instructions for each box that needs to be filled out on the permit. Also on the website are some of the contacts. You'll be contacting the region, not central office. So if the region needs to get a hold of central office, they can contact us, but these are the contact names for each of the regions. And on the website, they're also written out this way. So central office mainly gets involved if there's a permit along an interstate or a freeway. Otherwise, most likely you will always be dealing with the region offices. So I'm going to go over some of the requirements of the form. Again, you'll be using the DT 1553 and it's a two-pager. Most of the information is on the first page, but there's also a second page if you want to explain more about what you're doing. First of all, you need to remember to always use the most current form. So instead of just taking an old permit and updating it, go to the website and make sure you have the latest form or it will be returned to you. Who's filling out the permit? It's always going to be the utility owner. So even if you have a consultant filling it out for you, they can fill it out, but the applicant will always be the utility owner. So different things that we'd like to see, let us know what you're doing out there. What are you putting out there? Size of it. Are you underground? Are you crossing? Is it a new facility? Are you doing maintenance? How are you installing it? Do you have any tree or vegetation control? Let us know when you're starting work and when you think you're going to be finishing work. And also make sure to give yourself enough time to complete restoration. So you might want to tack on a couple months to the end date. Also, WisDOT only has jurisdiction over state trunk highways. On our website, there's a page for connecting highways. You would be dealing directly with a municipality, not WisDOT, if you're on a connecting highway. So you would just type in connecting highway and there's a map that comes up. For instance, this is Viroqua. The red lines are connecting highways. And if your project is on there, you'd be dealing directly with Viroqua, even though it's a state highway. Some other information on the DT 1553 is due to a WisDOT project. Where's the location? Let us know what town, city, county you're in, what highway you're on. Also, we'd like to know what kind of work zone traffic control you're using out there or will be required out there. We've got the Wisconsin Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices you can look at to get some guidance. And we also have the Wisconsin Work Zone Field Manual. Most likely for utility installs for shorter projects like that, you'll be using details from the Wisconsin Work Zone Field Manual. If you have a longer project, you'll go to the FDM and use some of the setups for projects that will have traffic control for a longer duration. If you have any appurtenances that will be installed with your project check yes, and then just give us the details in your permit application. Also, we'll have erosion control checkbox and an environmental checklist. This checklist is nothing different than you would go through on any other project. We just have it condensed into a 3-page form for you to check some boxes. Let us know that you looked at these different things. The environmental checklist covers things like aquatic resources, erosion control plans, historic preservation, tribal government coordination, contaminated sites, things like that. Things you would normally check anyway. And then let us know who is the utility person responsible for construction. In case something happens, we can get a hold of you. And then, like I said, there's a small box for additional work, but if you need to use that second page, feel free to go ahead and use it. And the bottom of the form is where WisDOT personnel will fill it out, sign it, and approve it. So what else goes with the DT 1553 permit application? We'd like to see a location and a plat map, drawings of what's going out there, and any special items, including work zone, erosion control, things like that. We do need a plat map as part of the permit process. Also, permit drawings, and one of the most important things and frustrating things for everybody is we need existing utilities on the plans. If the existing utilities aren't on there, we don't know what's out there, and yet you're trying to install some utilities without showing us what's already out there. So that's very important to make sure those are on the plans. Sometimes it can get very confusing, and sometimes it's hard to work with Digger's Hotline, but that is a requirement to have those existing utilities on there. Make sure you include a drawing with your plans so we can see what you're doing out there. And some drawings are more simple than others. Give us some measurements from known points, like from the right-of-way line, from a fence. Have a scale on there. Different things like that. You know, even having that underlying aerial makes things a lot clearer for us. Anything that you can do to make your maps or your drawings clearer for us will increase the speed of the process of getting your permit approved. Like I said, it's really helpful to have that aerial underneath so we can see what's going on and where we are. Legends are always helpful too to have on your maps and plans. And again, my name is Kathy Jennings. I work at Central Office in Madison. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to reach out and contact me. Thank you.